title here today is Education is Key. What I mean by that is simple. It's really simple. It means that as a fan, you need to be educated in the sport of boxing, and that is what makes you somebody who will know at least what is going on in the ring when boxers face each other. I was looking at O'Shaquie Foster versus Abraham Nova, really good fight, in which Abraham Nova was really taking some of the later rounds. He was really coming back in the fight, and then in almost the last 20 seconds of the fight, he got dropped by O'Shaquie Foster. But this fight was quite evenly matched. O'Shaquie was landing some counters and stuff, but really, Abraham Nova was taking the fight to O'Shaquie Foster, really taking it to him, and O'Shaquie pulled it off with that flash knockdown in the 12th. Also, he caught him again. Maybe 5 seconds before the end of the fight, he caught him again. But Nova really fought his butt off. Shout out to Nova. I hope that we see him again. Now, why I said education is key in the sport of boxing is because I look at a lot of people talk about, this boxer ran and all kinds of silly, stupid stuff. And to be honest with you, no one can really run in a ring in the sense of no one can get away from another person in the ring and go elsewhere. It's a ring. So the key is to learn how to cut off the ring and to learn how to make a fighter fight you. Some fighters are just very good defense. They're elusive. They are different styles of boxing. And so there's no one good or bad style in boxing. The thing about it is when styles match up in boxing, if a boxer doesn't have certain tools to neutralize another style, that is where the problem lies. It's not that, Lopez versus Ortiz was in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion, a bad fight. It was Ortiz was able to implement the strategy, even given that his skill set, he had the skill set to be able to do things in the southpaw stance. So he did what he did in the southpaw stance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, when you look at the sport, you can't. A lot of fans, they will say, O'Shaquie Foster versus Abraham Nova was a fan-friendly fight, right? That's what they would say. Hold on one second. But in fact, if you think about it, right? Keep the stuff staying icy and stay cold. You know what I'm saying? Want to keep the stuff cold. Yeah. Right. So, yeah. If you look at that fight, they would say that's a fan-friendly fight. But you have to ask yourself, all of you guys understand this, and all of you guys would agree with me on this. When you say fan-friendly fight, exactly what do you mean? Right? Because we have different kinds of fans in the sport of boxing. We have different tastes. People think that an action-packed fight, or a fight at least, should I say, a fight where both boxers are engaging with each other and landing punches on each other, they think that's an exciting fight because it comes down to attrition sometimes, it comes down to, will, it comes down sometimes to, who can take the punch better than the other one, or who can, at least deflect the punches that are being landed or whatever, right? So just having something land in boxing for some fans is exciting. And again, I'm just going to be as unbiased as I possibly can because I have my bias to what I like in boxing and so on. But at the end of the day, fans like and are interested in different things. And not just because a fight is action-packed, has a lot of activity in it, or guys are throwing and landing punches on each other, makes that fan-friendly. It depends on what fans you're talking about. Because there are times when I enjoy a Rock'em Sock'em Robot fight in which you're looking at how much these guys can endure, and it's amazing. But then there are other fights where it's Rock'em Sock'em Robots and I'm not interested in the fight at all. I'm bored. Okay? And that's just me as one fan. I'm not saying the majority of fans are like that, but I think because it depends on how you're educated in boxing, And that's why I said education is key in boxing. If you, for example, hold on a second. Dude, God, I'm working right now. I'd be, be focused on what I'm doing. Huh? I have internet. But I don't want to put you on camera right now. I'm streaming. I stream boxing while yes, I love boxing. So yesterday I watched the super featherweight champion defend his title against a contender. Yeah, so I'm talking about it online right now. But how are you? You look better.
Trying to look better.
All right. Well, at least you're alive and you have all your limbs and you can move. Thank God. All right. Well, greetings. I hope your day gets better and better. All right. Yeah. So, like I said before, Oshaki Foster, it was I ain't gonna lie. It was a good fight. It had skills involved. It had strategy, it had tactics, it was chess, but yet it was, violent because both guys fight on the inside. And, inside fighting has more activity, usually it's more physical. Oshaki Foster had to fight through what seems like a damaged bicep because, in doing some trades, he got elbowed in his bicep. When you look at boxing is an interesting thing in the sense that, you can have all those ingredients, but not every single fight is going to be like that, ladies and gentlemen. And that's where it's important for us to be educated, or at least the educated fans, to educate the fans that don't understand what they're watching. And then depending on the commentator and the commentary team to describe what's happening to them. And I don't know any other sport where fans are so not knowledgeable, some fans at least, are not knowledgeable about the sport. And the empty vessels, the ones who don't know what on earth is going on, they're the loudest. And then we have, like I said before, these shields or these sellouts in the industry pushing a product because they're interested in... Yeah, big man. There you go. Yeah? All day, every day. All day? Every day. Sometimes less. Depends on when you catch me. Less. Yeah, so, you gotta understand that some of these guys out here, they be for corporations. They like the cooperation, the vocal arm of a corporation, or the vocal arm of a promotional company, or vocal arm of a business. Y'all gotta understand that this is a business, right? So y'all should understand when vested interests influence commentary, right? You're gonna get people saying things that don't make no sense. When you think about it, you just like, what did I watch? I watched this fight on TV, and you telling me about some other fight. You didn't tell me about this fight. You know what I'm saying? You say something else. And what they do, what special interests do, is they appeal to the people who are clueless. Meaning, these people, they're gonna echo them because they don't know anything. So that's how boxing's been manipulating the scene a bit, and that's why boxing can't survive like it's supposed to, because nobody's educating anybody on it like that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Showbiz the Adult. Shout out to Coach Eric Bradley, the fight doctor, but he's more into it. You know what I'm saying? He tries to use language that will get the average person to understand, but he's still deep into it. Sometimes you need somebody like a fan like me, other fans, to explain it in a way in which we tell the truth. We have no vested interest in any party. We're not fans of boxers to the extent which we will distort truth to tell you what's happening in the ring. Because I don't care how much I'm a fan of whoever. Whatever happened in the ring, you should be able to tell what's happening there. And I feel like a lot of times, that's not what's going on with certain fights. Now, with Oshaki Foster, however, even though they were the biased commentary, they're only talking about Foster. No, we're doing some great work. great work. You know, put his head in his chest, moving back, landing body punches, some of them blocked. But, you know, he's doing great work in the fight. Really was. This fight was close. And I get the feeling that it's like only the money man, only the A side, only the guy that the company's pushing, they care about. And so they're talking a lot of times about how Foster could overcome Nova, and it's almost like they're against Nova, you know what I'm saying? And Nova doing great work in there. You know, he started off the fight with a double jab. Yeah, man. You know, when you're fighting a southpaw, of which I am, if you're fighting a southpaw, you start off, right? If you're going to jab a southpaw and you want to get that jab in, you have to use double and triple jabs because they're used to dealing with orthodox fighters, but orthodox fighters are not used to dealing with southpaws. So if you just throw a single jab to try and find out where you are or to try and hit them, more than likely they will deflect that, get out of the way, counter it, etc. So you have to come in and you have to commit to throwing double jabs and triple jabs behind your punches. It's almost the same thing with an orthodox fighter to a southpaw, except instead of throwing, say, a double jab, you may throw a double right hand, right? You may come with the lead hand, with the backhand, and you make it a lead, and you're throwing that twice. So you can throw double right hands. You can mix it up after that. Throw the left hook when they're pivoting to the right, because they won't check hook you coming out. So you could throw the hook over their hook. We can slap down their hook and throw the hook over their hook. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can do those kinds of things. Now, anyway, the point is, what I'm making is, Nova did some great work in there, and I don't think they're giving him the credit he deserves. And I don't know if it's because, like I said before, agendas, but I would love to see a commentator who sees the beauty of what the opponent is doing, and not just the A side. Because a lot of times they talk up the A side, they're talking about how the A side could overcome the B side, and they really are not investing their time and energy into really just appreciating what is happening in there. You get a feeling like they're not neutral at all. You know, they for the A side and that's that. You know what I mean? And you can't be like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like that. Okay. No? So anyway, so I would say that. Now, what I said, they say certain fights are fan friendly, is because you can't say that generally speaking. You think everybody likes the fight. But I've been watching around YouTube. I've been going on YouTube. More people, some people call back bar burners. They call bar burners fan friendly, right? Because, you know, it's to and fro and all of that. But some people find it boring. Some people find it boring. A lot. I know certain fights where I've seen, like, take for instance, recently happened. I forgot what the name is. I forgot the fight. But two Mexican fighters, you know, they ain't got the greatest skill in the world. They're a little sloppy with their punches and stuff. And the fans were actually, they didn't boo, but it was a barn burner. I think one guy got knocked out at the end of the fight. But the fans, and including myself, they weren't, you know, they say it was an alright fight. It was alright. But they didn't see it as this great, fantastic, you know, barn burner that it was. It was a barn burner. It wasn't fantastic, but it was a barn burner. And why? Because both fighters had limited skills. Both fighters were repeatedly hitting each other with the same punches. It became kind of boring. Even though one fighter did get knocked out, I think he got stopped. It was boring. So to say this fight is fan friendly, it depends on who you're talking about when you talk about fans, in my opinion. You know, some fans, you say it's fan friendly, which fans? You say casual fans. Well, which casual fans? Because some casual fans are really not into it. Remember, a casual fan is just a fan who will watch like a big fight occasionally, it doesn't mean that a casual fan don't know boxing. Which is another thing that I think people miss. Casual fans just mean I casually watch boxing. I don't always watch boxing. You know, I don't always consistently watch the sport of boxing all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's all it means. You know? Whereas, you know, you might have hardcore fans that follow everything. I don't mean that because somebody's a casual fan, it means that they don't know what they're seeing in the ring, which is another very important point. So, what I'm saying is, if boxing comes down to, you know, saying this is fan friendly when it's not necessarily fan friendly, you assume it's fan friendly, you know. Of course, you can tell by the crowd. If the crowd's into it, it's probably fan friendly. If the crowd's decide like, meh, maybe rooting for their guy or whatever. Totally different. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. I want you to fans need to know what they're seeing in there, because there's too many people in attendance. I was watching Steve Kim and Mario, whatever his name is, and they were trying to argue that Jermaine Ortiz did a horrible job, and he is hitting Tio, but his punches weren't having any effect on Tio, and Tio's punch was having an effect on him, so therefore, you know, Ortiz was just running, and, you know, it was just a travesty. And I'm like, I know this is, they're with Top Rank, okay? They work for, you know, they basically are like a long arm of Top Rank. And they muddy the discussion because Ortiz won that fight. He was robbed, and they muddy the discussion, right? Which is the whole idea, to keep boxing corrupt, to keep boxing. There was a scorecard, by the way, for O'Shaquie Foster versus Abraham Nova, 116-111. I don't know who scored the fight that way. That judge should be fired, because once again, Teddy Atlas is right. We need a commission. Once again, that scorecard was atrocious score, in which that fight was, it in no way, shape, or form represents that fight that we saw. It wasn't, right? I had Nova winning, I think, from round 7 all the way up till about round 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4 rounds straight, he won. And so there's no way it could have been 116-111. He also won, I think, one of the earlier rounds. I think he won the first round, actually. So now O'Shaquie Foster, to his credit, he had problems making weight this fight, so it kind of affected him so much. But he still fought his heart off. He fought his ass off, and he managed to pull it off. But it was a close fight. It was going to be a close fight. I think the knockdown made the difference. I think 114-113. 114-113 is what I had. Some other people had it a little wider, 115-112. But 114-113 is what I had. And one of the judges, I think, had it that way. Actually, one of the judges had it for Nova, 114-113. It was a split decision win. And me personally, I think that you know, you have to look at these fights, and you know, I don't have a problem with somebody saying 114-113 Nova, because he was heavily aggressive. He got more and more aggressive as the fight went on. You know, unfortunately for him, he got dropped in the 12th. But he was very, very aggressive in this fight, and he pretty much kind of dictated the kind of pace of the fight. It was, you know, O'Shaquie Foster did sort of take control later on in the fight when he started to get his timing back and kind of figure out what he was doing. But for the most part, Nova did a great job in this fight. He did a great job in this fight, and hopefully he gets another fight to prove himself, and another shot at the championship at some point in time. You know what I mean? Because he fought fought his butt off. He really did. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. I'm WattUNeed.